Okay, so hopefully you've read my blog post on how we can set the affinity and priority of our processes using PowerShell. What I'm going to show you now is how I can use these same little scripts to sort of play around with the processes on my machine and sort of prioritize their use of the CPUs and sort of segregate processes into their own CPU groups in order to sort of give priority to other applications. So the first thing I want to do is just load Task Manager, and what I can see if I go to the Performance tab is all of my logical cores performing exactly the same. You can see the same peak here, the same troughs, and everything looks pretty in sync apart from this little peak here. If you come to Task Manager and you see the overall utilization view, you can just right click that, go to Change Graph, Logical Processors, and there you go. Okay, so the first thing I want to do to use these scripts is load up PowerShell. Now you will have to run PowerShell as admin, so if you hold Shift, right click that icon, run as administrator, and past UAC you can get in there. The first thing I'm going to want to do is just have a look at how PowerShell is interpreting those processes. So I'll copy the function provided, and just paste it right into the PowerShell prompt, and I can see the affinity and priority of all the processes running. So let's say I want to move everything over to let's say this second core here. What I can do is use the script at the top of the sprinkle, which is setting the process affinity. So let's take a look. The affinity for core 2, which is this window here, is 2. So yeah, that's fine. That's already set in my example, and I can just copy that code and paste it into the command prompt. Now you will get these exceptions. This is where it's system processes that you can't basically touch them, because if we have a look at the list above, it's things like system. It's the system process, so you can't affect that. But if we look over at Task Manager now, we can see the graphs are starting to look a little bit different. If we leave that over a bit of time, what we'll see is the 3 cores that we left free are basically flatlining, and there's nothing happening there. Now I've got a lot of processes open. I've got this screen recording software, which is quite CPU intensive. Well, that's now running on this CPU. In fact, I wonder if that software is even broken when I did that switch. It would be interesting to see whether it has or not. So we can already see one of the benefits here. If I want to start a new application on one of these processes, which is a bit heavier, I can simply go to the processes list now on the details tab and pick out the process I want to run at a higher priority. So let's say I've got Google Chrome running a game. I could just right click that, set the affinity, untick the CPU that it's currently sat on, set it to a new CPU, press OK, and then that would essentially be running on the third CPU. And then that's pretty much how I use it. Setting your priority class, normally a little bit dangerous, but as you can see, I can just go on to PowerShell, throw that in there, and then everything's running a little bit faster than it normally would have. And if I want to just, probably do want to let it load balance if I am doing that, I can just set all the affinities back to 15, which is basically all CPUs, and then they will now spread to all CPUs as we can see them starting to peak. And yeah, so now everything's running at high priority, sorry, above normal priority. majority of them are. There's a couple of system drivers like audio DG. He's running at normal, couldn't affect that. But anything I could affect, that's running at above normal priority. So there we go. That's how you can utilize these scripts to select different cores for different applications and different priorities for whatever you're doing. You know, if you're running a video, if you're running Photoshop, if you're running even Minecraft has a multi-core issue, you could move all your operating system to one core, and you could move all of Minecraft processes to another core, and then you wouldn't have any contention. So yeah, I hope the video helps. Thank you very much.